Welcome to an all-new Lay It Omni. Allow me to lay it on you. What's up guys, another day, another Pokimane news update. I'll be honest with you guys, okay, I'm getting a little bit tired of this whole Pokimane drama. I feel like it's been going on forever, but I think today's update should hopefully close the lid to this entire fiasco. Yesterday, Pokimane dropped an 11-page essay similar to Fedmyster's 25-page essay talking about the events that have been going down and trying to wrap up all of this information. Now, I don't get why or when responding with multi-page Word documents has replaced twitlongers or basic YouTube video responses, but I'm looking forward to when it's all gone, okay? I haven't read this much text about a specific topic since Harry Potter. In case you guys don't know what's going on, let me just give you a quick recap. But before I even do that, I just want to say that guys, this is day 50 of me uploading every day for the rest of my life. That's a pretty huge landmark, like Jesus Christ. I honestly can't believe I've made it to 50 days of uploading videos every single day and they haven't been complete garbage. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Pretty excited about that. Okay, that's it. All right, back to Pokimane. So here's the recap of the most TLDR of fashions in case you just don't know what's going on. OfflineTV, which is a gaming house filled with gamers who play games for content creation, and Pokimane and Fedmyster was a part of it. Fedmyster did inappropriate things to multiple girls. Fedmyster gets kicked out. Everyone talks about their negative experience with Fedmyster. Fedmyster leaves the internet. Fedmyster returns to the internet to see what his housemate said. Fedmyster thinks everyone is spinning the truth. Fedmyster writes a 25-page word essay talking about his relationship with Pokimane. He also talks about other stuff, basically insinuating that Pokimane is lying. However, he doesn't release this document for whatever reason. Somewhere in between this, Leafy gets banned from YouTube for target harassing Pokimane. Then a week ago, that said document gets leaked or released or whatever by someone else. Fedmyster releases another Word document on Twitter. It basically says to respect their privacy and avoid further sharing of the leak. Pokimane immediately streams on Twitch and goes on to respond to the 25-page Word essay that was leaked. The stream was not good. It showed Pokimane skipping over several parts of the script, and at times her mannerisms suggested that she lacked empathy for the situation, and at other times it appeared that she was contradicting herself and possibly lying. A few days went by. Pokimane released an 11-page Word essay on her private Twitter, and now you're all caught up. Obviously there's more details, but I've covered the majority of the situation in summary in prior videos in case you want to know more. Now guys, I do think this document from Pokimane should be the finale to this terrible saga. Like, I honestly can't believe that so much drama surrounding one person can transpire in less than a year, but apparently it's possible. Originally, I didn't feel comfortable reading off the contents of the information that was in the leaked document since it contained like a lot of personal stuff. But once I saw Pokimane basically stream the entire contents of the script to over 50,000 people live on Twitch, I realized this isn't a private segue anymore, and I don't feel as bad talking about it. I still feel bad that it got leaked, but it's not being handled in a way where the parties involved sweep it under the rug or ask for privacy and then just simply don't discuss it in any way further. It's instead being reviewed in grave detail to the point where Pokimane has done a Twitch stream review of the document and a Microsoft Word doc explanation with receipts. I'm assuming this is to provide details and receipts and keep things listed in an organized manner as opposed to the Twitch stream. So let's talk about it, okay? I'm not going to read the entire document. I'll show you guys the document. What I'll do instead is read over the most important parts and summarize the more in-depth, lengthy subjects that I frankly don't care too much about. So let's just get into it. Pokimane starts with this, which I'll read out. Intro. I've talked about my experience with Fed in the past, and I'm really disappointed that quote-unquote leaked and misleading messages have made it necessary for me to respond once again. I feel forced to share my side of the story now with the evidence and context to hopefully close this chapter once and for all. Knowing how much it hurts to have private combos leaked, I didn't want it to have to come to sharing more info that is also private to Fed and my friends involved. Out of respect to their privacy, I'll only be talking about some of the things that were already shared and what my friends are comfortable with. So okay, I can understand this, okay? The document is out there, questions are being asked, a response document with proof and receipts would help alleviate said questions, okay? No problems here. The leak. I found out about this document weeks ago because one of Fed's viewers DM'd one of the OfflineTV members with a link to it, technically a prior version to it. There was no update at the bottom, certain private texts were not in the document I saw. I was horrified that a viewer of his had such private messages of mine, and I immediately contacted Fed. We spent a couple days talking things through and coming to an understanding on how to handle things. I also informed him how the document was shared with me, so he was well aware of the specific person who was doing this. Over the next few weeks, I would have my close friends and other streamers message me and tell me they were also sent this document, sometimes from Fed, sometimes from Fed's viewer. Every time my privacy was further violated, I would tell Fed and he would tell me he'd speak to his viewer and have the Google Docs delete it. It kept happening multiple times afterwards, making it hard for me to believe that he didn't want this to be shared. So okay, this part is interesting. Pokimane is suggesting that a viewer of Fed, whatever that means, basically had access to Fed's exposed essay. It also implies that Fed was sharing this document with people who had no business reading it and could potentially leak it, which is exactly what happened. In my opinion, if you're sharing confidential information such as this to anyone, you're allowing the risk of that info being leaked. And from the looks of it, it looks like Fed wanted it to be leaked. Going further, Yvonne and OTV. I like to give context to the messages he included of me talking about Yvonne, since the leaked document attempts to imply that I was plotting against her, when this was not the case at all. I'm really disappointed that he would try to publicly pit us against each other, especially since he knows us personally and the reality of the situation, on top of what he's already put Yvonne through. The situation is also heavily impacted by the fact that Fed touched Yvonne inappropriately, which is something that OTV members weren't aware of until later. Please keep this in mind when reading the screenshots involving other house members, because they didn't know and have done everything in their power to help Yvonne since they found out. Because I was so close to Fed, he would rant or vent to me about others a lot. Yvonne was a sore topic for him, where he would continuously complain about her. He would complain that he was taking on her workload and that she would deny his attempts to get her to do work on OTV and stream instead. Looking back on this now, no one can blame Yvonne for wanting to avoid him, but no one knew what Fed did at the time. I've included an example of this below. So alright guys, this part is important because in Fedmyster's 25-page essay, he basically said that he had no intention of wanting Yvonne out of the OfflineTV house at all. However, it's pretty clear in the text messages that Pokimane provided that he was a participant and potentially the main contributor, seeing as that he complained about her to everyone in the house. My guess is that they were both particularly annoyed about Yvonne's lack of initiative to do so, whatever it is she's supposed to do there, and both complained about it with each other. Moving forward, these texts were from May 25th, 2019, whereas Fed has shared screenshots of things I parroted about Yvonne months later on October 5th, 2019. I was not the only person that Fed would vent to about Yvonne, although I repeatedly heard the same thing from him throughout these months. He would also go to other house members to complain multiple times over, which ultimately led to the point of OTV having a meeting to discuss everything. The below texts were after the meeting and showcased that this topic stemmed from Fed bringing up issues about Yvonne. Alright guys, so this next page is about Yvonne, and it summarizes basically that Fedmyster was complaining about Yvonne in a way that he may have seemed to want her gone. However, this was apparently after the whole sexual misconduct thing that happened, so it's kind of weird that he was trying to get her kicked out after he already inappropriately touched her. Also, I didn't know this, but I guess OfflineTV hires people to do work for them, and Fedmyster was one of them, but apparently there's a trend where the employees who work for them eventually use that platform to become content creators themselves, and then quit being the employee. Hence why I guess they don't like when employees begin pouring too much time into content creation of their own, since it takes away from the work they need from them at the house. Anyway, Yvonne later exposed what happened between her and Fed, and that was that. Page 5, Pokimane talks about Fed. She calls him a very close friend. They became close during a trip to Taiwan in February 2018, but Pokimane says she wanted to back off a few months later. I guess it didn't work out. Apparently he was going around telling people later that her and Pokimane were a thing, and some other dude named Steve that Fed told that they were a thing told Pokimane, and that's how it got around. Text receipts basically suggest that Fed lies and spreads misinformation, specifically this time about Pokimane and their status as a couple. Pokimane calls Fedmyster a serial flirt. Apparently he made passes with other girls in the house frequently and even extended his friendship with them to sleep in their beds. She mentions that the relationship between Fed and herself was super complicated because they were co-workers living under the same roof. She then goes to debunk a misleading text conversation between the two of them that implies that Pokimane desperately wanted to stay with him in his hotel room, when in actuality she never did this and was actually talking from a group perspective that included the other OfflineTV girls. And guys, this is the end, okay? I'll just read the conclusion. In summary, I hear a lot of hurt feelings in Fed's statement when it comes to our friendship. I cared about Fed a lot and wouldn't have wanted to hurt him. His feelings are valid and a good reminder to me that what one person thinks may be going on in a friendship doesn't always match with the other person's expectations. Looking back, I would have done a lot of things differently, and know for a fact that neither of us handled the situation perfectly. However, our private convos heavily lacked context, and I'm not okay with how they're being misrepresented. So guys, so basically it looks like Fed was stretching the truth and misrepresenting Pokimane. From the looks of it, to me, it appears to be double-sided based on the information presented so far. I don't think any one party was entirely truthful in all of these events. But yeah, then she goes on to talk about this person named Jody, which I honestly don't care to go too much into details of this. It basically says that Fed does what he did with Yvonne, where he talks about people in a negative way to everyone. However, in this situation, Pokimane reciprocated and apologized for what she said. So alright, we've reached the end of the document. I'll wrap up and read the conclusion. Conclusion, ultimately, my complicated and volatile friendship with Fed had no part in why he was kicked out of OfflineTV, and such private details never needed to be public. It has been extremely jarring to have my privacy violated by someone I trusted for so long. Out of respect to my friends who are mentioned in these convos, they were all shown the text and were of course given the option to decline any convos from being included. If any parts of the convos were blocked, I have done so to maintain privacy for them and will not disclose that info. I hope this context shows my side of the story and helps put this to rest. Note, this is posted to my alt account because so much personal info has already been shared. I would like to clarify my side of the story and not bring additional attention to these past issues. I know many other people will probably cover what happened, but I'll be doing what I can to prevent personal matters from going public again. And that's it guys, that's the document in a nutshell. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, okay? I'm absolutely sick and tired of this drama, okay? It's not that I don't enjoy talking about it or dissecting it or analyzing it or whatever, but it's more so that I feel like it's becoming stupid, you know? Like, it's private information that should have stayed private between two people, and it created this mess. What I'm most concerned about all of this is that this could have easily been avoided if Fed didn't share the document. And this goes back to what I was saying before. If I have any private information about a famous person online and I'm sharing my personal relationship with them with any one person, I have to be completely cognitive and aware that that information will be spread, okay? Period. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if you're my family. I don't care if you're my dog, okay? People spread rumors and loose lips sink ships. Based on Fed's past of being very deceptive and talking behind everyone's back, I wouldn't put it past Fed to have intentionally have this document leaked in a way where he was, unaware of it. It's easy to be like, oh no, I didn't realize someone else would share these super secret details about a high-profile internet personality, but I guess the information is out there, as opposed to actually releasing the document itself and taking responsibility for it. But I also won't pretend to know Fed's intentions. I'm simply suggesting that it's stupid AF to share this kind of personal information with anyone thinking it will remain confidential. Now, in regards to Pokimane, I think her reviewing of the document on Twitch made no sense. Initially, I thought she was going to just issue a statement and be like, hey, I know y'all saw the doc. I just want to say this is private information and there's a lot of misinformation about it being spread, but out of everyone's privacy, including my own, I like to ask everyone to respect me and not wanting to talk about it. Or at the very least, I thought she might, have a summarized statement drafted up, similar to Fedmyster's that mirrors the same ideology that the content shouldn't be explored further and, TLDR her response in a blanket statement. The whole Twitch thing was not a good idea, but that's in the past and it is what it is. I'm hoping this document wraps up the drama that's been going down between the two of them, not only for their sake, but for the rest of OfflineTV. I can't imagine Skara, Sky's Toast, Lily, and Yvonne are ecstatic to have this debacle be an ongoing thing months after it already went down. To be fair, the removal of Fed seems to have removed whatever drama we know of that existed in the house. They've just been playing Among Us and doing their gaming content and probably would have kept doing so if this leak didn't occur. It's really hard to tell if this document leak was malicious from Fed's part or not, but it happened. It is what it is, and with this document, hopefully it'll make people satisfied to know that this isn't just a, quote unquote, Pokimane is an evil manipulator kind of thing, and realize it takes two to tango. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this episode of Laid Omni. You've just been laid. Moral of the story, don't where you eat, okay? Mixing relationships with work and a gaming house like that is a recipe for disaster. At the same time, people are humans and getting close and intimate is bound to happen, so I guess it's just one of those cons of living in a gaming house. Ultimately, if you're going to dip your chip in the dip of relationships and professional spaces, make sure it's just the tip, so when things go south, you don't sabotage everything from it. Keep it casual, okay? And respect boundaries and move on when things don't work out, and I guess it can work out, but you guys know how it is, people get in their feels, so I doubt it's just as easy as that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of this entire situation in the comments below, okay? I say I'm tired of the Pokimane drama, but at the same time, I feel obligated to see this entire story through. It's like watching a show you were really interested in, and then you kind of wasn't feeling it towards the end of the season, but you already vested this much time and energy into it, so you watch it anyway. Is that how people felt about Game of Thrones? I didn't watch that show, but yeah, that's how I feel about this drama. Anyway, do me a solid. If you made it to the end of the video, do me a favor, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Today is November 30th, 2020, and I said at the end of November that if we don't make it to 200,000 subscribers, that I will be quitting YouTube forever. And unfortunately, guys, I don't think we're going to make 200,000 subscribers by the end of the day. But luckily for you guys, I didn't say which November, so I won't be quitting YouTube. I could have been talking about 2021, baby. So, gotcha. Come on, y'all knew I was going to delete this thing. But I would appreciate it if you subscribe, okay? You guys know I was just playing, right? I made it clear that I was just playing. I'm not going to delete it. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Stay hydrated, guys. I'm looking forward to December and Christmas spirit. Even though we're in a pandemic, I need some Christmas music. It always picks me up. It always makes me happy. So I'm just looking forward to that. But yeah, let me not ramble. I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good one. Take it easy. Peace.